Everybody, it's Wes Eisenchank again here with Lost and Found Muscle Cars. And guys, click that subscribe button. Leave a comment below. We got a killer story for you today, and it involves an old Camaro. And I got Bruce with, and Bruce, you bought a Camaro one time for $100. Is that right?
That's correct.
Walk me through why you bought this Camaro.
Was a nice solid car. It was a race car. It's got tabs on the front bumper where they used to flat tow it.
So you get this '67 Camaro. Was it you always been a Camaro guy? You've been a Chevy guy. What's your grab on Camaros?
Chevrolet. Pretty much Chevrolet.
So what'd you have before this? What'd you have before '67 Camaro?
Well, it was a '66 Super Sport. I bought that new, ordered it, and '68 GTO I ordered.
Very nice.
I ordered a '70 Nova every 2 years. And then I bought a house and everything went.
So, folks, Bruce is 85, and he lived right through the muscle car era, and he was buying cars, and he was definitely part of the scene. So, but we're in 1977 when you get this Camaro, so it's a little bit beyond the muscle car era. What were you planning on doing with this car?
Driving the heck out of it.
After you put the L78 in it?
Yeah.
How'd that marry up? What were you planning on doing? Was it going to be sort of a driver-ish / hot rod car with the L78? Do you have any idea what was in it prior to what?
It was original big block car from '67, which is unusual. I think they only made 600 and some.
It's the first year. Yeah, it's the first year of the big block in the Chevy Camaro, and it wasn't offered at the beginning of the year. Those first SS Camaros were 350s. So the introduction to the L78 definitely put Chevrolet right smack in the middle of performance with the pony cars.
You had to work with it, though. It was a little squirrely. There's too much motor.
So what was this car for a drivetrain originally? Was it an auto car? Was it a manual?
It was a 4-speed originally. It was a 396 Super Sport 67 Camaro. And it had a 12-bolt in it, and it had the 67 axle that has the bracket on it for traction arm from the factory.
Did you build this car fully? I see it's got looks like a domed hood on it at one time. Was it always that color red?
It was always red. It was just like it came from the factory body-wise. It was a good, solid car. I mean, the floors and everything, they're like what you try to find now. There's not much there, but this car was perfect.
So where were you living at the time when you had this car?
Wisconsin.
Why did you sell this Camaro, Bruce?
I had a garage downtown that I did a lot of work in. And I think everybody in the area knew I had this car. And a guy walked in and had a roll of $100 bills. When he got to 22, he didn't want the engine. Well, he's paid $2,200 for it, which is probably cheap now, and no motor in it or no transmission in it.
You kept that L78 that you built?
I did, and about 2 weeks later, he come back and he bought that for $2,200, plus a '68 GTO convertible. So I got that in trade for the engine. Regret selling it now, but you do things like that.
Yeah. What year was this? What can you put a finger on when you sold your Camaro?
Middle of the '80s, as far as I know.
So by then, these cars are done depreciating and they're on their ascension back up into the marketplace, becoming popular, so to say. People are restoring them.
Not then. There wasn't that many people restoring them or obnoxious prices in that. You could buy a shell like this from $100 to $500. But like I say, all they did is race it. Anyway, the last I heard of the car was it went to Mayville here in Wisconsin, and they took it all apart and they were going to tub it. And then the next thing I heard about it, it was all in pieces and it was headed to South Dakota. That was where I was told it went or whatever. Any truth or anything, I don't know.
It's been a long time since you've seen this car, and what got you thinking, let's try to find this thing?
I don't know if there was any one thing or whatever, but you always, when you have a little prize like that, you want to know what happened to it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. It's your lucky day today, Bruce. We're going to have somebody coming on that knows something a little bit about that car. We are joined by the current owner of your old 67 Camaro. We have Brent here. Brent, you have Bruce's old Camaro, man. Let's hear about it.
Hey guys, yeah, I purchased my Camaro in 1998, and it was in the process of becoming a drag car, and heard about it through a friend. Bought it immediately and did a full restoration, turned it into a pro street car, and been having fun with it ever since.
This is tremendous, Brett. I mean, think about this. This car had been originally planned to be somewhat of a race car when Bruce had it, and he bought it as a roller, $100, no engine, no trans. How'd you get it?
It was a friend of mine is a chassis builder, and he heard about the car and connected me with the owner, and I uh, I bought it right away. Sometimes you've got to be little quicker on things than them
Yes,
coming up in a newspaper, to get a hold of these cars. So
absolutely. Ears to the
I
railroad tracks. So you bought this car as a roller as well, right?
I did. It was in the process of becoming a a drag car. It had basically everything cut out and just some of the chassis parts done. There was no interior, no engine, transmission. It had a 9-inch Ford housing and the 4-link stuff, and that was about it. And I took it from there. So
Does it have the same number that I had? Is it the same car?
it is. Wes gave me the VIN number, and it matches. So it's the same car. The other thing that I saw in the photograph on the Facebook page was that this car is an SS car, and it has a Rally Sport hood latch. And I always wondered about that. And when I saw that detail behind the grill, I knew it was my car.
Brad, does it have the two tabs underneath the front frame?
I took the car apart for a full restoration, and I cut those off to sandblast and restore the subframe. And always thought it was pretty neat that somebody had, that car had probably gone straight from showroom to drag strip. That's what they did back in the day. So
Let me jump in here, guys. We're putting together a 40-year gap instantaneously right now in this conversation. We have Bruce and we have Brent, two guys who both own this 67 Camaro, and literally we're closing the gap as we speak and how long this car's been missing. And now, Brent, you got to show us the car, man. Bruce has been waiting decades to see his old
Excuse
Camaro.
me. Let's see it. I want to see it.
yeah, here we go.
Well, it's still red. It looks like a super car.
Bruce, check it out, man. She's packing his chute now.
It's solid. It had good seats in it, but nothing like that. Those are super. Has it got the big block?
Yes, it's now a 555 big block Chevy. It's a 10-to-1 pump gas motor, and then we're running the Nitrous.
Yep, it's got that. How fast does it go?
This car, when I built it, it was running mid tens with the first iteration, and now I've worked it down to ran a 993 at 141 on motor, and I've just started playing with nitrous, and it's run a 938 at 154.
It's 2 seconds faster than it ran on the time slips. I know that.
Your goals are a little steeper than nines, though, aren't they?
I'd like to. The cage is good for 850. At some point, I'd like it to go that.
Wow. So this car is dual purpose, though. It is not just a drag strip car. You also use this car for other other purposes as well, right?
Yeah, it's our we have a lot of fun just running around town with it, going on little trips. We're it's still it's still a manual transmission car going running a 5-speed G-force, so it's a lot of fun banging through the gears on it. So
Oh man, Bruce, you just got to be eating this up because this is what you built this car to do, and literally it's like passing the baton to Brent, and Brent just ran this thing across the finish line.
I can't believe it. I'm just happy to see it. I just always wondered what happened to it.
What do you think your wife would say if she got a 9-second pass in the car?
She'd want to drive it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brent, it's an honor and a privilege that you came on with us to do this reveal for Bruce, because it was really hard to bite my tongue with Noah and not tell him that we found the car. Yeah, so kudos to Noah. Noah, if you want to slide on screen real quick and say hi, we'd love to introduce you to Brent as well. Brent, this is Noah. Noah's the one who knew about Lost Muscle Cars and created this singular post and started the wheels in motion to connect Bruce and Brent together. So Noah, job well done, sir.
Thank you.
Noah,
Nice
what's
to
it
meet
feel
you.
like to see Bruce's Camaro that he's been talking about all these years?
I think it was a surprise to both of us. I didn't think either one of
I
us
didn't.
thought that it was going to be around.
I didn't believe it.
Well, guys, we're going to put a bow on this episode of Lost and Found Muscle Cars. Bruce, you finally got to find your old Camaro. Brent, you got to show Bruce the car. We're going to make sure you guys connect offline because I'm sure there's some gaps to fill. Brent, you're going to be able to gather so much more ownership history on your Camaro. And Bruce, man, I'm sure Brent's going to be able to send you photos and you'll be able to have this car on your wall for you from here on out.
That's great. I appreciate it. Thanks, man, for saving it.
thanks, Wes. Thanks, Bruce. It was great meeting you both.
Folks, this is Wes Eisenchank. You just got done watching this episode of Lost and Found Muscle Cars. Thank you so much for viewing it. Click subscribe, like this video post, and we will see you down the road.